Okay, so let's try to know some more about coordination in plants. As plants control and coordination is done by chemical substances, so it called plant hormones or phytohormones. Means some special type of chemicals are present in plant which are responsible to regulate different activities. Those substances are known as plant hormones. Okay. There are five types of hormones generally. Auxin, as you're seeing, auxin is here. Okay. Which one? Auxin. Here it is, auxin. Then second one is zebraline. Third, cytokinin. Fourth, abscisic acid, which is also known as ABA, and ethylene. Okay, so in this way there are five hormones. Let's start with the auxin. So auxin basically responsible to initiate the cell division, cell elongation and growth. Okay, so auxin basically responsible for the initiation of cell division and cell elongation, and due to this cell elongation, what happened, what elongation or growth happens in plants. Okay, and now come to the second one, that is what zebraline. Zebraline also help in auxin is over. Now come to the zebraline. Zebraline is also help in the growth of stem and branches. And zebraline basically promotes cell enlargement and cell differentiation in plants in the presence of auxin. These also promote growth in stem and fruits also. Okay, so this is the function of zebraline. Now the third one is cytokinin. Cytokinin is basically responsible for promotion of cell division. Okay, and some other functions are also there, which are performed by the cytokinins are: it play vital role in the morphogenesis in plants. It helps in breaking the dormancy of seeds and buds. It delay the aging in leaves, promote the opening of stomata, and also promotes the fruit growth. Okay, so these are some functions of cytokinin. Now come to the next, that is ABA, abscisic acid. It is also known as what? Inhibitor. Okay, now abscisic acid is also known as the stress hormone of plant. Okay, so this hormone is basically responsible for inhibit the growth, and it affects the wilting of leaves. Generally it promotes the dormancy in seeds and buds and thus inhibits the growth. It also promotes the closing of stomata and thus affect the wilting of leaves. It also promotes the falling of leaves, which is known as abscission, and senescence in leaves. Okay, यानी जब पत्तियां पुरानी हो जाती हैं तो वो पौधे से अपने आप गिर जाती हैं और ये कहलाता है एब्सेशन, और ये प्रोसेस को इंड्यूस करता है एब्सेसिक एसिड. ओके, last hormone is ethylene, and it is the only hormone which is present in the gaseous state. Okay, basically the main function of ethylene is it also promote growth and ripening of fruit. It helps in breaking the dormancy in buds and seeds. It stimulates the formation of separation layer in leaves, flowers and fruits. Okay, so this is about the function of ethylene. Now move to the next slide. As you are seeing here, we are in this slide, we will going to talk about the movements in plants. So whatever movement is performed in plants, again divided into two categories. One is known as tropic movement, whereas another is known as nastic movement. Okay, so let's start with the tropic movement. These are the directional movements towards or away from the stimulus, and it depends on growth. Students, if you observe the changes which happens in plants, so we can categorize both the movements or changes on the basis of growth. One type of movement is completely growth dependent, whereas another is independent from growth. Okay, so tropic movement is the movement which is completely depends on growth, whereas nastic movement is what, independent from the growth. So let's explore the topic tropic movement. Tropic movements are the directional movements towards or away from the stimulus, and it depends on growth. They are of different types like phototropism, geotropism, okay, phototropism, geotropism, chemotropism, and hydrotropism. So students, let's start with the phototropism. Phototropism is the movement of plant in response to light. Photo means light. So if it is towards light, it is called positive phototropism, like bending of shoot towards light. And when it's away from light, so it is called a negative phototropism. Example become the bending of roots away from the light. Easy. The next one is geotropism. Geo means related with the gravity. Okay, so it's the movement of plant in response to gravity. If it is towards gravity, then it is called as positive geotropism. Example is downward growth of root. If it away from the gravity, then it is called as the negative geotropism. Example become the upward growth of shoot. Okay, so this is about the geotropism. Now come to the chemo. Chemo means chemical. Okay, in the same way, when the movement takes place in plant in response to chemical stimuli, okay, because it is chemotropism na, so the movement takes place in plant due to the stimulus of chemical. So the very good example of the chemotropism is growth of pollen tube towards the ovule. Okay, so here chemotropism. Now come to the hydro. Hydro means what? Water. So here when the movement of plant occurs due to water, then it is called hydrotropism. Easy. Now move to the next. As you are seeing in this picture, this is the picture of, this picture depicted the phototropism. As you are seeing that plants are just showing the what, unidirectional movement. Okay, so they are just moving towards light. The second one is, just see here, what phototropism is. In moving seedling, the shoot is positively phototropic. Okay, I think you all are able to see this. So this, I am talking about this diagram. So here in this diagram, phototropism in mung bean seed is in the shoot positively phototropic, and this shows the unidirectional. Now just come to the next, geotropism. In geotropism, what we discussed, about the positive and negative. So just shoot is showing here, also shoot is showing the, which type of shoot is showing the negative geotropism, whereas the root is showing the positive, and here it is negative geotropism. Okay, now come to the next slide. Here just try to focus on this very good slide of chemotropism. Just see here, pollen grains are just fall on this stigma. Wait, here the pollen grains are just fall on this stigma, as you are seeing. And what happens, these pollen grains are just moving through style and reach to the egg cell. So here what happened, because of these pollen grains get germinated with the help of chemicals which are present on the stigma. That's why the germination of pollen grains become the good example of chemotropism. Okay, so this is our last slide, students. We will learn more in the next.